Two of my favorite topics to cover are cryptids and water-related mysteries. The ocean by itself is terrifying. Many of these monsters come from myths, folklore, or just people who like a good story. In oceans, as well as in lakes, there are plenty of stories that talk about something weird residing down in the depths. And in Sweden, we have Storsjöodjuret, or the Great Lakes Monster. The first time this creature was mentioned was in 1635 when Vicar Mugens Pedersen recorded a fable. A long time ago, two trolls, Jatta and Katta, stood on the shore of Storsjön, each boiling something in their own cauldron. They boiled and diluted for days, weeks, and years. They did not know what would become of this brew, but spent much time wondering about it. Then, one evening, a strange sound was heard from one of their cauldrons. It hissed, groaned, and screamed, and suddenly there was a loud bang, almost like a thunderclap. Slithering out of the cauldron was a strange animal with a black snake body and a cat's head that quickly disappeared into the lake. This beast thrived in this lake. It grew to an enormous size and terrified people whenever it appeared. Eventually, the beast grew so large that it could reach around the entire island of Fesliyan, so large that it could bite its own tail. The wizard Kettilehunske then bound this enormous beast with a strong spell. A spell that was carved into a stone that was erected on the island. A stone that also depicted the snake. Until someone can read and understand the inscription on this stone, this beast will remain bound. The stone mentioned in the tale does exist, and it has been deciphered. The inscription is a localized form of one of the first versions of the Swedish language. It has been dated to around the 11th century. In other words, the stone is older than the story of the monster. And the inscription, well, it speaks of a man named Östman who erected the stone, built a bridge, and converted Jämtland County to Christianity, which is an interesting choice of words for a spell that binds a beast. But since the text has been deciphered, that means that the beast is now free to roam the lake once again. Which, according to many witness reports, it very much is. Despite the tale being so old, sightings of the creature did not start appearing until the 19th century. And over the years there has been roughly 260 sightings, according to an exhibition held in the county. The site Storsjöodjuret Center has a map covering 134 sightings of the creature. Naturally, I can't list all of them in the video, so let's look at a few of the more descriptive sightings. During a warm summer's day in 1863, a farmer and his worker hears splashing noises near the shore. His mother-in-law suggests that it may be a group of children playing, but once the splashing stops, they spot a creature laying halfway on land. This creature is big, with short, thick feet. After agreeing that this creature is probably dangerous, the farmer rounds up his crew and load 2 rifles. 10 men then set out in a boat to try to chase this beast down, which at this point has now gone back into the water. They row as hard as they can, but the beast is simply too fast and quickly vanishes into the depths. In 1892, a large sea monster resembling an upside-down boat swimming at high speed was seen by a man and his son. This animal appeared to have a pair of humps, or possibly dorsal fins. When it moved forward, it used such force that a rushing sound could be heard. In 1898, a handyman was working in his workshop yard that was facing the lake when he saw something that resembled an upside-down boat. It was dark, with a pair of protruding fins that seemed to be a lighter color. As he watched, this animal swam at high speed into the lake before it vanished. In 1905, there was a photograph allegedly captured of the creature. That same year, another sighting was also reported when one man was out on the lake and spotted what he believed to be a log. But he quickly realized that he wasn't looking at a log when it suddenly came to life and swam away. This man then theorized that the log he saw could be some kind of prehistoric lizard. In later years, the descriptions of the creature turned more serpent-like, and often with 2 or 3 humps. For instance, in 1949, a plane that was flying over the lake spotted what they thought was a large animal. It was so big that the pilot as well as his passenger was able to see this creature very, very clearly, and it appeared to have 3 humps on its back. The creature having humps is a fairly consistent feature in these sightings, as well as the creature being very big, dark in color, often resembling a rotten log or an overturned boat, and it has 2 or 3 humps. It's also said to have legs with flippers or fins. The skin is supposedly scaly. It has a small head with reflective eyes, and the head is sometimes described as being dog-like, complete with ears. The creature is known to follow boats out on the lake, but it is described as being more curious than dangerous, though it may challenge anyone who gets a little too close. Ever since the sightings of this creature began, there have been an interest in trying to capture it in one way or another. This interest peaked in 1894 when a sea captain created a stock company with the sole purpose of capturing the creature. This company even got sponsored by King Oscar II, though it failed to capture anything and would be mocked in the media. What makes this creature more unique than other cryptids of its kind is that this beast was considered a protected species for a time. In 1986, after being contacted by a local tourist office, the Jämtland County Administrative Board declared Storsjöodjuret to be an endangered species. This meant that killing, harming, or capturing live animals of this creature was strictly forbidden. Removing or harming the creature's eggs or nest was also forbidden. This law would lead to discussions. There were some people who argued that the government should maybe focus on trying to preserve the environment that this creature lived in instead of passing a law prohibiting the hunting of the creature. And this law was kept in place until the turn of the century. A change came in 2002 when a man applied for an exemption from the ban because he wanted to collect some of the creature's eggs to create an enclosure for the species. This, of course, led to a lot of attention, which in turn had a ripple effect, which eventually led to a legal representative taking a second look at the law itself. And 3 years later, in 2005, the law was revoked. But despite that, for enthusiasts, interest in the creature has not waned at all. Cameras have been placed around the lakes in hopes of capturing the creature. In 2007, an association had, together with the Jämtland province and local municipality of Berg, installed 6 surveillance cameras on one of the lake's islets. This also included 2 underwater devices. The next year, 2008, they announced that they had captured an image of the creature, and this video made it onto the news on Swedish television. And the story ended with them promising to put up more cameras to see if they could capture more footage, but none seemed to have materialized. There are additional videos that pop up every now and again, especially here on YouTube, but those videos don't gain much attention from the general public or even the media. But people who are interested in the creature do find them, well, interesting. It's not a cryptid or a strange creature video without mentioning some possible explanations for what this creature could be if it truly exists. The most common theory for the creature is that it's a large catfish. Giant catfish has become something of a cryptid itself. Probably the most well-known example of that is the story where a large goonch catfish was said to be the culprit for a series of fatal attacks on humans on the banks of the Kali River in India and Nepal between the years 1998 and 2007. Some of the witnesses that spotted this animal have also suggested that the creature they saw could be a catfish or a big fish. As I said before, this theory does make a lot of sense. We know that these creatures can get very, very big, and we have them here in Sweden. There is a problem though, and that is that the lake is located too far up north. No catfish has ever been caught north of Lake Mälaren, and the species have not been observed there since the turn of the last century. Given the fact that the beast is often described as a serpent, that's another animal that most people point to, some yet undiscovered species of aquatic snake. The only known snake in Sweden that is semi-aquatic is the grass snake. But like with the catfish, that type of snake is not common in the part of Sweden where Storsjöodjuret is said to reside. Not to mention that this snake does not grow to the sizes that this creature is supposed to be. There are also those who theorize that the beast is some kind of giant lizard, given the fact that it's said to have feet and a thin head. And reading these reported sightings, I kept picturing some kind of lizard as well. Jumping off from that, we have the theory that is the most fantastical, and that is that Storsjöodjuret may be some kind of prehistoric animal, a plesiosaur or even a mosasaur. The latter, a mosasaur, is actually theorized to have roamed the Nordic seas. And with creatures of the sea, the only ones that we know exist are the ones that we have actually found and seen. Which means that in the ocean right now, there are tons of creatures that we have not seen yet, or even know exist yet. It is a fantastical theory. I'm not sure how well a creature like that would do given the cold climate up north, but it's a fun thing to think about. Today, Storsjöodjuret is mostly a tourist attraction, which Jämtland County and people working for tourist offices in the county does acknowledge, which unfortunately means that you're also very skeptical about the creature's existence. Which I guess is the same for any kind of cryptid. If there's a financial benefit for it, many people will become skeptical. As far as many people here in Sweden is concerned, this creature does not exist. It's a fun creature to think about and to imagine existing, and the stories of the two trolls that accidentally unleashed it is a fun little story. As I said in the beginning, I love stories of creepy things on the ocean and possibly animals in depths. So I can entertain the thought of something living in the lake, though I have my doubts. Maybe a catfish does reside in there that no one has been able to catch yet. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the video, what you think of this creature, if you think it exists, and if you do, what do you think it is? That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.